What's up, football fans? I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and don't forget to check out and grab your copy of our two latest book releases, Football: A Love Story and What Did Football Teach Me? Visit our website at footballgameplan.com/books and get your copies today. Welcome to NFL Game Plan. I'm Emory Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bring you our Week 5 preview between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we're going to be joined by our football game plan analysts, Gene Clemens, Chris James, and also Teron Davenport. So let's start this video off by taking a look at my keys to victory. Starting with Jacksonville in this ball game, I believe the biggest problem they're having offensively is that they can't sustain drives. This offense has to be able to string long play drives together in order to be successful. There's a lot of talent offensively for Jacksonville. They can move the ball in spurts, but if they can't move it at a sustained pace versus Tampa Bay, they'll lose this ball game. I think they also have to establish a third receiver, whether that's another tight end, a second tight end, or maybe Rashad Green, the third receiver they drafted out of Florida State. So they have to get a third guy going, which opens things up for the other two guys on the outside, Robinson and Hearns. And on defense, they can't give up inside position to these big wide receivers and to a quarterback in Jameis Winston that loves throwing those in-breaking routes. Stay on the inside, force him to go outside and down the field where he's going to have to be consistently accurate delivering the football. And if you're Tampa Bay in this ball game, attitude in the run defense department has to change. That's the one thing defensively that stands out to you about Tampa Bay's defense. They're not aggressive versus the run, and I'll dive into a little bit more of that in the film session portion of this video and explain why that's happening. And I also think they have to minimize the big play defensively. That's another thing that jumps out at you. Tampa Bay gives up so many big plays defensively, both in the running game and in the passing game. That has to cease starting this week versus the Jaguars. And just overall, maybe in particular, more in particular, offensively, they have to play a clean game. Winston can't continue to turn the football over that goes back for 6. They have to protect the football, and defensively, they have to play a mistake-free game. No penalties, no mental errors, and I think that's how they can knock off Jacksonville in this ball game. This week versus Tampa Bay, I'm going to show you how the Jacksonville Jaguars can influence a bad decision by Jameis Winston by playing cover 1 robber. I'm going to show you how we're going to get this done. Trips formation, one receiver loan to the backside, and alignment is everything. And if Jameis Winston, being a rookie, sees a backer on the second man in the trip side, he's thinking, okay, this is the quick route. This is where I'm going to go. This backer can't keep up with my wide receiver or tight end, however they want to get creative on this route that we're going to break in. So what they're going to try to do is run this guy off here, try to take him out right there, and run a quick slant right there with this backer. Now, and they're also going to try to vacate space with the back. Boom. So that's one concept you're more than likely to see from an offense if they see this type of alignment. So how you combat that and how we're going to pick this play off, because it's cover 1 robber. So you have your corners off, which is great because now they can just turn and run, use the sideline as a friend, turn, run, use the sideline as your friend. You're protected on the outside. That's going to have to be a consistently accurate throw that Jameis Winston will have to make. And we know right now he's struggling right now with his placement and his accuracy. So this is a tough throw for him right now at this juncture of the season. So again, we say cover 1 robber, which means we got one guy back deep, the free safety. Boom, he's back deep. And we're going to have this back that they try to flare out quickly. This backer is hauling tail to meet up with him. So now Jameis Winston sees as he drops back, oh yeah, the middle of the field is open, the backer just vacated, I'm throwing right where the backer just left, which is what you're supposed to do. Throw where the defense ain't. And this is the key. We're going to rob this part right here with the strong safety. Either there's going to be an interception or this guy will die on impact. And that's what we want. We want him to either die on impact or pick this ball off. And that's how we influence it. Because now you're going to have a communication call. The backer is just doing his job. He's going to follow this guy across. Nickelback can sit and wait and follow this guy going deep. So it's not a switch call. He's slow playing it. He's going to play the outside because he knows he has inside help coming hard and fast with that strong safety. And obviously you have your rush lanes, everyone responsible for a gap or what have you. But this is how we're going to play cover 1 robber. This is your robber. It's cover 1 back here, and everyone else is manned up on the outside. And I think situationally, if Jacksonville can go to a cover 1 robber, maybe let's say a 3rd and medium or 3rd and short inside the red zone, I think they can influence a bad decision by the young rookie quarterback, Jameis Winston. opening up the Buccaneers playbook, going on the defensive side of the football. I think they have to get a little bit more physical versus the run, especially at the second level. And we're going to go back to week 2 versus New Orleans, and you'll see what I'm talking about. As we look at the end zone cam, notice the 2 linebackers. They both go about 228 pounds. Quan Alexander is an outstanding rookie, and Levante David is one of the best backers in the NFL. But you see right here as we freeze it, that right there won't win you football games. That won't stop the run. Those backers have to be able to take on those blocks aggressively and shrink the space that the running back has to make plays. And that didn't happen on this play, and it hasn't happened all throughout the season for Tampa Bay. If this continues to go on versus Jacksonville, they'll lose this ball game.
These are 2 teams that are not playing well. Both getting very bad play from the quarterback. I think for the Jaguars, it's real important for them to get Allen Robinson going. Allen Hurns had an excellent game last week. Take advantage of the big plays that Allen Robinson brings to the table. Allow their quarterback, Blake Bortles, to throw the ball up the field to him, allow him to go up and make plays. As far as the Bucs are concerned, it's all about keeping it simple and getting Jameis Winston off to some type of good start. He's thrown a lot of interceptions, and of course the media is on him for that, like they always are with these black quarterbacks. But nevertheless, Jameis Winston is a solid quarterback. They just have to simplify the game plan for him, allow him to make easy reads, get into a rhythm, and make things happen. I have the Bucs winning this game at home in the battle of bad Florida teams. I have the Bucs going 17-10 over the Jaguars.
If I'm the Jaguars, I'm working this run game. We had a little something going last week against the Colts. We were able to run the ball. Everybody knows that Tampa Bay is vulnerable against the run. I'm going to try to pound these running backs that I have for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Make sure that we are able to keep the time of possession on our side. If I'm Tampa Bay, I need to try to limit the amount of mistakes that Jameis Winston can make. I've got to give him high percentage throws early to give him confidence, so when he goes over the top and takes those chances that are what makes him great, that he does so knowing that he has a lead to protect. Obviously, they've already fired their kicker. That would have been number 1 thing I did. So hopefully they have a better performance in the special teams than they've had the last 2 weeks. In the end, I like Tampa Bay to run their record to 2-3, the score to be 24-17.
As far as a home start for the Bucs, I'm going with Vincent Jackson. He's been by far the most consistent offensive player on this unit. A lot of big catches last week, and if Jameis Winston can actually drive off his back foot and get him the ball, he'll have a huge day against the secondary. Now, as far as a sit, I'm going to sit Jameis. Not because Jameis is a bad quarterback. I've heard a lot of that recently, but because Jameis is not there yet as far as reading and progressing and getting you fantasy points because he turns it over too much. As far as a start for the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm going to start Allen Robinson. He's still the number 1 guy. Vontae Davis was a bad matchup for him last week. They don't have that caliber corner on this Bucs roster. As far as a sit, I'm going to sit Blake Bortles. You still have guys up front who are active, who can get to the quarterback and be disruptive. Bortles has played better this year, but he's still not that guy yet. A sleeper here could be the Bucs D. Bortles in that offense could turn it over, and with the way that kicker kicked last week, they might get a block kick out of this. I'm going to go with an ugly score here, with the Bucs getting the victory, 22-17.
I like Jacksonville in this ball game. I just can't get past a defense that has problems stopping the run and also has a propensity to give up a big play in the passing game and even on the ground in the running game. And I just think this Jaguars interior offensive line, along with TJ Yeldon, the rookie tailback, will have a lot of success versus this Buccaneers defense. And as we recap the picks, I'm the lone wolf this week going with the Jaguars. I do think this will be an entertaining game. 2 young football teams that are trying to grow in the right direction together. And we also want to give a huge shout out to Jaguar fan forums and Buccaneer fan forums for always showing football game plan support.